In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 design tips that you can do to create better designs and get more sales. Let's go. Thanks for joining me on this video. My name is Juno with Detour Shirts, the channel all about helping you design and sell t-shirts online. If that's something you like to do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there. So in this video, I'm going to teach you 5 design tips that I use and that you can use that will upgrade your designs. So in this video, I wanted to help those that maybe have a hard time with design. And I'm going to give you 5 simple tips that you can do. I'm going to go step by step so you can see these 5 steps in progression and how I'm changing just a simple design into a design that could sell. So the main thing that you want to do in your design is make it stand out and also make it something that people want to buy. So I'm going to go through these 5 tips. So you're going to want to stay all the way till the end to see all 5 tips, as well as another addition of trend credits. So let's get into it. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is pick a phrase or topic or niche, something that you want to design your t-shirt for. And this shouldn't be a hard thing because I'm giving you all the trends every week. You can also find niches and niche down. So right here, I'm going to use this one, something from last week. This is a trend from RedBubble. All I need is love and hot cocoa. You might have seen this in one of my videos. If you haven't, I'll put a link up here in the description. I do trend videos every week for RedBubble, as well as trend credits at the end of each video. So you should have lots of phrases that you can do and put on t-shirts. So this is the one I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you the 5 tips that will take it from a basic t-shirt, a text t-shirt, into something that someone will want to buy and wear. So here we are in Affinity Designer. I typed out the phrase, all I need is love and cocoa. I'm just using a basic font here, Helvetica New Bold. So this is what a lot of people do when they find the trends. A lot of times I see people just type out something, maybe with this font or some other simple font, and put it up on RedBubble and then wonder why they don't get any sales. I know you've seen some text designs on RedBubble and they do sell sometimes, but more often than not, they're not just plain text. So the first tip that you can do to make this just a little bit better is variety. Tip 1 is variety. So here's what we're gonna do for variety. Variety can mean just changing the size of things. So you can see here now I made love a little bit bigger because that's important. Hot cocoa is a little bigger and is smaller. I also used all caps here. So it's still the same font. I didn't change anything here. I just changed variety, making things look bigger and smaller, maybe putting it above another one. You can see here there's some space now here. So I'm giving this design just a little bit more variety than I did before, where here it's just all the same. Here I'm giving it a little bit more variety because that will make it stand out from the rest. When you see both of these together, this one stands out more than this one because it has big and small and things like that. So first one, just think about how you can make it just a little bit better with variety. The second tip I want to share with you is typography. So let's move over here and let's see the different typography I'm using. So instead of Helvetica, I'm choosing different fonts now. So a tip I want to share with you about typography is don't use more than 3 fonts. 2 to 3 fonts is probably as much as you want to go. I'm using Watermelon here for All I Need Is Love and Hazelnut Typeface here for Hot Cocoa. And the reason I chose these is because this is a nice big thick font. It's easy to read. And this is a nice thick cursive font. So people love cursive fonts because you can see there's the variety in this too. There's thick and thin, right? In the typography itself. So this kind of font creates interest. This kind of font stands out. And this kind of font's easy to read. So think of those things when you're thinking about typography. You want a font that will stand out, but also easy to read. You want a font that people will look at and like because the font, it gives some variety, and it also has to match the message. So hot cocoa, steam, you can see here that's moving up like this, kind of like a cursive font, right? It has that version. So think of what you're designing for, who the audience is for, and what kind of fonts match that audience. So typography is really important. So you can see the difference. I went from variety here And on top of variety, I'm adding with variety typography, and look at the difference now from here to here. We made that big step, right? So tip number 2, typography, really important if you want to improve your designs. So tip number 3 is graphics. So I'm just using text here, but if you added a graphic, it will add so much more. So here's a graphic that I drew. It's just a cup of hot cocoa. Of course, you need a graphic that matches what you're talking about. So love, hearts, hot cocoa, a cup of cocoa with marshmallows. So that's what I'm adding here. Look for graphics that match your font as well as the topic that you're doing. So you can see here how adding a graphic made this one stand out over this one. This is just text. Because I added a graphic that creates more interest, makes it stand out more, it's a little different. And maybe somebody is looking for this type of graphic, right? So think about those kinds of things when you're adding a graphic to your design. And we're still in that shape, right? All of these are still in that tall rectangle shape. You see I'm using guides for this so I don't get out of there. So use that as well. Use these guides, use a graphic to add graphics to your design. You can draw your graphics, or you can find graphics online, with different places like Vexels or Placeit, or places that you have that you can get clip art from. So I have lots of videos about where to get clip art from. So that's number 3, graphics. Number 4 is composition. So now we're getting into the graphic design of it. So you can see here, I just added the graphics here, but I'm just placing it in here in that space. But we want to think about composition too. So number 4, composition. Look what I did here. So here, the graphic is standing out. It's in the middle. I have all I need is kind of in an arc. Love and kind of stretching out here. Hot cocoa right here. And then I have these lines here. So think about balance. Think about symmetry. Think about alignment. So you can see here, if I cut this in half, you can see it's kind of similar. This heart and this heart are on both sides. So you can see it's really balanced if I did that. And you can see how it's aligned. I'm got some space here. So this is composition. Think about how it's going to be laid out. And you can do this on paper before you put it all together. Sometimes it's hard to just imagine the composition, but if you go in with a plan and think about where things are going to be on the paper, I have a few videos about different layouts, and that can help you with composition, as well as looking at what other people do and kind of look at their composition and keep those as guides and examples that you can use when thinking about different compositions. So there's lots of ways to lay out a t-shirt. This is just one of them. So you can see here the difference between this and this. This one is a little more thought out of where things are landing. I have an arc here because it matches the arc of the cup. You can see the arc here. So just different things like that where there's a balanced composition. So that's tip number 4, composition, laying your things out in a nice way that works on a t-shirt. So the last tip I want to share with you is color. So color can help your composition stand out even more. So let's look at adding color to this. So you can see here, so one way to pick colors is just to naturally pick colors that apply in real life. So hearts, right? People think of hearts as red. So of course I'm using red. Hot chocolate, I'm using brown, of course. The color of the marshmallows are going to be this white kind of color. And the cup, well, that could be any color, but I'm using a light color so that the face goes in here. Another place that you could check for colors is a cool site called coolors.co. Let me show you that. So what coolors.co is, it's the super fast color scheme generator. So just type in Coolors, Coolors in Google, and it will be the first one right here. And you can just click that. And here it is, just Coolors. And let's start the generator. I really love this site for picking colors. So the thing that you can do, I'm going to hide some of these. You can go through the tutorials if you want. But they give you 5 colors. And what you can do is, if you already have a color, so let's say we have that red. So I'm going to pick that red. I use CMYK, so it's really easy. Red is that and that. There we go. So then you can lock a color. So I'm going to lock this red here. I also use black, which is really easy. So I'm going to change this to black. So black is 100% there. So red and black, I'm going to lock that. And then I had that brown, right? I'm not exactly sure what that brown is, but I'm going to make one here. It's kind of this red. I think it was something like that. Let's just use that as the brown. So I'm going to lock that. And then when you hit your space bar, it will give you two other colors that match. So you can use any of those. You can stop anytime. I think I stopped on that light blue one that I had. Anyway, you can see it'll give you things like that. And then I could take those colors and then use it in my design, right? So I would just screenshot this or remember these hex codes or whatever, and then use these colors in my design, and it works every time. And if it doesn't, come back and hit another color and try it out. If that doesn't work, hit that. So it's really easy. Instead of just trying to randomly pick colors, this will pick the colors for you. And you can see it's a nice color palette. And you can do 2 or 3 colors if you don't want to use brown and just use the other 2 colors. This is really cool. And if you want to do it on a dark t-shirt, I would just leave the black here and make sure that it works on black. So I love this website, coolers.com. I use it all the time if I'm unsure what colors to pick. So that is it. Those are the 5 tips. Let me go back and show you the progression again. So you can see we went from just plain text, adding variety, then typography. Then the next level is graphics. From graphics, we went to composition, and from composition to color. Can you believe we went just from text design to this? And that's such a huge difference from plain text to this, that this will definitely stand out more than just the plain text. So think of those 5 tips, use those 5 tips as you design your t-shirts, and I'm hoping that will help you get some sales on Redbubble and other pod sites. That is it for this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and your reward for staying all the way to the end is another edition of Trend Credits. Thank you for staying all the way to the end for this Trend Credits. Here is your trend. But in the end, America chose the boy who stuttered. This is about Biden and Trump. Of course, Biden is now the president. So I think that's what it is. You can see here, glasses for Biden. Kind of, that's what he's known for. So you can see the BSRs here. Very low BSRs. And let's check Merch Informer. It's getting an A, so you know it's good. I have a link in the description for Merch Informer if you need that. You can see here if you scroll down, this one's getting 16 sales a month. So that's kind of nice. Again, this is your trend. But in the end, America chose the boy who stuttered over the bully. You can use this, or you can make up your own phrase about the new president. So these political shirts are still selling. Just make sure that yours is an original design and not to copy anybody. That is it for this video. Thanks so much for staying till the end. Let me know in the comments if these 5 tips were really helpful for you and you're going to be able to use them. I'd like to hear that in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe if this video was really helpful for you. Give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and be subscribed. Thanks again for staying till the end. And as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.